That secondary accident includes 3 vehicles. Confirmed extrication.
Today, the Boone County Fire Protection District mourns one of its own.
It is with great sadness that I announce that Boone County Fire Protection District Assistant Chief Bryant Gladney was killed today.
Early this morning, a semi slammed into emergency response crews working a different crash on I-70.
Unfortunately, he was pronounced dead a short time later.
A firefighting career in Boone County spanning decades.
This is the first line of duty death for the Boone County Fire Protection District.
Today, we're learning more about the life of Assistant Chief Bryant Gladney. This is KOMU 8 News at 6.
Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
Early this morning, emergency crews were responding to a crash on westbound I-70 at mile marker 135, when officials say a semi hit crews working the original crash. Good evening, everyone. I'm Noah Klein. Thanks so much for joining us. Assistant Fire Chief Bryant Gladney was killed in that crash. KOMU 8's Avery Everett has been following this story for us all day. She joins us live now at the Fire Protection District headquarters in Columbia. Avery, what have you learned?
KOMU 8 News starts with breaking news.
We've got shots fired. We got one down. We're on the Petromart of Ash and Stadium. We need medics emergency.
That's police scanner traffic after a Columbia police officer shot and killed a man at the Petromart at Ash Street and Stadium just a few hours ago. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jordan Berger. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We have team coverage of the shooting. KOMU 8's Emily Spain and Natalie Pace are live at the scene of the incident where CPD Chief of Police Jeff Jones held a briefing. We start with KOMU 8 anchor Emily Spain. Emily?
This is going to be some of the worst tornado damage that we've seen in a long time.
This morning, 6 states are picking up the pieces of their communities after dozens of tornadoes left destruction last night.
We're going to lose over 50 people, probably closer to somewhere between 70 and 100. It's devastating.
In Kentucky, factories flattened.
It's devastating to see stuff that I grew up with. I mean, it's just gone.
Tennessee seeing towns taken away and a little bit closer to home.
That was completely destroyed. It looked like somebody just blew out the whole back area.
The roof of a St. Louis area Amazon center ripped off. This is KOMU 8 News today.
Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News today starts now.
Flooded roads and rushing water. Hours of rain this morning caused more than 10 roads to close in our viewing area. Good evening, everyone. I'm Emily Spain. Thanks for joining us. Here's a look at one of those roads. It flooded in Howard County. They had to close it down. It's not over yet. Let's start now with Chief Meteorologist Ken Jawicki. You've been tracking this. What you got for us?
What a great sound. We heard lots of thunder just like that throughout last night, and lightning lit up the skies. This is video from our crews in downtown Columbia around 11 o'clock last night. Some areas received more rain than you can see here. You said, what, inch and a half?
That's like cause for celebration right
we
now.
got some rain.
Over at the airport, they had an inch and a half of rain.
CPS teachers are speaking out, using terms like institutional betrayal, feeling tired, unheard, and unappreciated.
And we are dry now, but more chances of precipitation are on the way. We're talking about snowfall into the weekend, the latest forecast.
Plus, new guidelines are coming to a Boone County hospital. What's different about the mask people will be required to wear and why it's tough to find one? This is KOMU 8 News at 6.
Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
Are we teetering on the brink of this? Is no help coming because it's not getting any better?
After days of record high COVID cases, student walkouts, and a petition for an emergency meeting, teachers at Columbia Public Schools say they are simply tired. Good evening, everyone. I'm Emily Spain.
And I'm Noah Klein. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. CPS teachers are frustrated about staffing and health risks. KOMU 8's Peyton Headley joins here in the studio. She spent the day speaking with some of those teachers.
In an email obtained by KOMU 8.
KOMU 8 News starts now.
Saying in my class, I have this best friend, he's named Clayton, and if we did scenario A, then I would be split up with Clayton, I think, until high school.
New lines could force friends into different classes. The boundaries at all public schools in Jefferson City might be changing in the near future. Good evening, everyone. I'm Noah Klein.
And I'm Emily Spain. Thanks for joining us. If the plans are passed, many students will have to move schools. Tonight, the JC School Board met to discuss 3 possible scenarios about where the boundary lines will be. KOMU8's Lucy Kale joins us live there now after attending that meeting. So, Lucy, what did parents have to say about these boundary changes?
Now, whether they were for or against redrawing the boundary lines, speakers at the open forum tonight say they are in favor of scenario C. Now, scenario